It is a widely known fact that real men, or perhaps intelligent men, have little to no concern about the opinion others have about them. These types of humans live their lives following the teachings of the great philosopher called Socrates, who teaches us to find confidence in our own beliefs and not be too swayed by others. Some people are ruled by the opinion of others about them, and everything they do is per that person's opinion. This doesn't mean that you should turn a deaf ear to people's opinions, but allowing it to define our life's direction is an unacceptable error. However, when it comes to intelligent men, the case is different. These kinds of people are characterized by their reasoning with logic, which makes them right on several stances. They will only consider you when there is strong logic in what you are proposing. Watch till the end to discover why real men don't care about people's opinions. Being a people pleaser is not one of the attributes of real men, because they do not require other people's validation. They know what they are made up of and are self-sufficient. So if you think your opinion defines them, or will affect them in any way, then think again. Look around and observe the real men close to you, and you will notice that they are not bothered by critics because they are confident in their abilities and cannot be talked down. They filter out people's opinions. If you are familiar with the teachings of Socrates, you would know he just doesn't accept anything thrown at him. Socrates advises you to first question everything and challenge what does not make adequate sense. This is exactly why real men don't care. To them, your opinion is yours alone and would only matter to them if it had been questioned and found to be logical enough. Other types of men care so much about people's opinions that they are devoted to living their lives trying to please people. They don't have the nerve to confront ideas and prefer to be in the good books of others. They prefer to define their values. We know that having personal values means having a set of principles that guide one's way of life. This means you live your life following your ethics without a care for what people think. Real men are known for defining their life's values and sticking to them come what may. Oftentimes, their required success in their career or business can be attributed to sticking to these standards of behavior. They know themselves better than anyone else. How well do you think people know you? I'm not talking about the physical you here. I'm referring to the you that is defined by your dreams and aspirations. No one knows you in depth aside from you, which is why self-discovery is a part of real men. They are aware of the power that lies in knowing oneself, and this is per the words of Grace Lichtenstein, that self-discovery is the secret ingredient that fuels daring. Word of advice: if you desire to belong to the real men's clan, then spend quality time getting to know yourself. Devote time to thinking about what matters most to you while reflecting on your growth so far. That way, you will realize that knowing yourself better will make you care less about what others think. They are aware of what drives them to succeed. Real men are naturally creative in their approach, and this makes them unstoppable to others. No one can hold these types of men back. Therefore, they belong in a class of their own. The ability to be in control of one's imagination and creativity leads to success. Real men devote time to writing down their goals, so they are aware of what they want in life and business. Now tell me how the opinion of others would matter to them. No way. Know that if you have a laid-down plan, it doesn't matter if another person feels you should be headed in a certain direction. Focus solely on what motivates you to succeed, just like a real man. They know others also have personal issues. Oftentimes, people that spend a huge part of their time devoted to other people's businesses do this because they also have their issues. This is a fact that real men know, and this is what makes them worry less about the opinions of others. Therefore, if you belong to the class of men that always worry about what others think, then I am sorry to inform you that you are wasting time, because they are probably criticizing you for something they regret. They have full control of their feelings. Another reason real men are unbothered by others is that they have become bold and brave since they care less about what others think of them. This means they are at the point where they truly start embracing their true self and never feel ashamed of their life's choices. Contrary to popular belief, People can't make you feel a certain way about yourself unless you let them. You need to decide how to respond to what others say. Be intentional about turning a negative into a positive or an opportunity to learn or grow. They know people are deceitful. And utter folly a man can make is to care about what other people think because you don't know what they believe. Many people are two-faced, which means they lie or deceive others because they don't know who they are. Now imagine the case of the lost leading the lost. It was apparent both would never find their way. Therefore, unless you have a superpower that enables you to read into another person's mind, you can't know what their intentions are. They know it will halt the accomplishment of their dream. Do you care about achieving your dreams? If yes, then be a real man and do away with other people's opinions. You should know that if you are constantly worrying about what other people think, you will never achieve your aim in life. This is because you will be mandated to do things that don't always meet people's standards. You will eventually get to a point where you have to put your pride and reputation on the line for others. If you are constantly worried about what people are thinking, you will never have the will to do what's right, and that's a fact. They know they will never be happy being dependent. You feel completely dependent on yourself for your happiness when you don't care about others. Depending on other people to make you happy is unhealthy. Therefore, make an effort to enhance your happiness by setting aside time for solitude. Keep yourself away from every distraction and learn to be dependent on yourself alone like a real man. They know they will suffer the consequences. Real men know that they are the ones who must deal with the effects of their choices in life. For instance, you will be the only one to suffer the repercussions if someone gives you financial advice and you simply don't feel like it's the appropriate move, yet you follow through with it. You will be the one who has to live with the reality that you disobeyed your inner call if the business or investment goes south and you lose a lot of money. You need to know that the individual offering you advice is not at risk, but you are. And whatever the outcome is, you have no choice but to live with it. They can attract positive energy. There's nothing as soothing as positive energy. When you stop caring what other people think, you begin to draw in and value those who are completely unselfish and suitable for you. You begin to avoid individuals who disturb your mental tranquility in life and stick with those who value your presence. They know they are obligated to please just themselves. Real men are aware that they won't always be able to satisfy everyone. There is no point in exhausting oneself attempting to live up to everyone's expectations because it is impossible to do so. Just be careful to make yourself one of the people you please. The weight of others' thoughts can become a burden for you if you are not self-willed and determined to care for yourself above all else. When you allow others to control a major part of your life, then you are only presenting yourself as their puppet. Don't get me wrong, this doesn't mean turning a deaf ear to even the logical people, but ensure you are not swayed by the winds of different people's opinions. Now that you know why real me doesn't care, it is time to learn the secrets of building self-discipline. Click on the image to find out. Thanks for watching.